Would you like to know a secret about the hustle myth? You've been told that success means grinding harder, sleeping less, and pushing until something breaks. But what if that's the very thing holding you back? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why working harder doesn't always get you closer to your dream, and the simple shift that can make everything feel lighter and more powerful. Stick with me till the end because I'll give you 3 practical steps to break free from the hustle trap today. If we haven't met yet, I'm Selinger. I'm an experienced creator, a magician, a storyteller, a filmmaker. I've spent over 20 years studying what it takes to really live your dream, performing for Fortune 500 leaders and creating experiences for some of the most discerning audiences in the world. And I could tell you, success isn't about burning out. It's about aligning with what matters. And I'm going to be using my mind mapping technique. I have pre-written it because it turns out I can't talk and write at the same time. One of my weird dyslexia things. Now, for years, I believed the same story you've probably heard 1,000 times. If you just work harder than everyone else, you'll make it. I wore exhaustion like a badge of honor, but here's the really ugly truth. Hustle culture doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to burnout. The hustle myth has convinced so many dreamers to run faster on the treadmill that goes nowhere. There are 3 things you need to know about this myth if you want to break free of it. And the first is something that I call the trap. The trap is this idea that if you just pile on more hours, more effort, more sweat, success will come. But what no one tells you is that hustle without direction just digs you into a deeper hole. I remember years ago standing backstage minutes before performing for a massive audience, and I was exhausted, barely present. I realized that I had been hustling so hard to make my dream real that I stopped living it. Maybe you felt that too. You've been working harder than ever, but the joy's gone and your dream feels further away. And I'm not the only one that has fallen into this trap. I knew a magician once that hustled harder than anyone I had ever met. He would take any gig, anywhere, at any price. He lowered his fees just to keep his calendar full. He signed terrible contracts because he didn't want to miss an opportunity, and he performed for anyone, no matter how little it paid, just to make a bit of money. From outside, it looked like he was always busy, always working. But behind the scenes, he wasn't creating anything new. He had no time for practice, no energy to dream bigger, no space to grow. He was stuck in an endless cycle of hustling for the next gig, the next paycheck, the next scrap of validation. And years went by without any real progress. That's what hustle culture does. It tricks you into thinking that motion is progress when all you're really doing is spinning in circles. The second thing I want you to know about the hustle myth is what I call the shift, the now what, and the solution. The shift happens when you realize that success doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing what matters. Hustle is about force, pushing harder, adding more weight, taking on every opportunity, even if it's not aligned. But aligned action, that's about focus. It's about choosing the 1 or 2 things that will actually move the needle and letting the rest fall away. I learned this lesson the hard way. There was a season where I said yes to everything, every gig, every interview, every chance to stay busy. I thought I was building momentum, but really, I was just scattering my energy everywhere. The day I started to say no was the day that everything began to change. When you make the shift, you stop being a worker on the treadmill and start being a creator on a mission. You don't waste time on things that drain you. You choose the projects, the relationships, the moments that give your dream energy and life. And the final thing you need to know about the hustle myth is the secret. The secret is simple, but hard to live. Success isn't about working harder. It's about working on the right things with the right energy. If you want to escape the hustle trap, there are 3 things you could start doing right now. First, name the trap. What are you doing just because you think you should? Write it down. You can't fix what you don't see. The second, define aligned action. Out of everything you could do today, what's the single step that moves you closer to your dream? Not 10 steps, just one. If you do that one thing today, it will stack faster than 100 scattered efforts. And then third, stop chasing applause. There's freedom there. If you're living for likes, validation, or someone else's approval, you'll always be stuck in the grind. Chase meaning instead. Chase the work that lights you up and matters to the people you serve. When you focus on what truly matters, you don't have to push so hard. Your dream begins to pull you forward. This idea comes straight from the principles in my new book, which launches August 12th. If this secret about the hustle myth hit home, I'd love to hear from you. What's the one thing you're going to stop hustling for starting today? Leave it in the comments. And if you want more secrets like this, make sure you subscribe, because every day leading up to my book launch, I'm sharing one powerful idea that can help you chase down your dream with clarity and confidence. And remember this, hustle might get you tired, but alignment will set you free. I'll see you tomorrow.